we can welcome the next guest on board. Vishal Manchanda was expected to join us shortly to talk to us about the pharma sector. Vishal, if you're there with us, just wanted to begin by discussing that entire delay in the Biosecure Act, because that's got the street worried. A lot of the corporates were as it is telling us that they're not factoring anything big till the time it doesn't get passed. But for now, what's the expectation? Because analysts had started building in some of those, right?
Right. Mhm. So we were all kind of very excited about the Biosecure Act coming through. There was a large opportunity that could have translated for the companies. So the uncertainty still exists. There is basically the act may be pushed out. Maybe I don't know how long this can get pushed out. But what we are witnessing is there is an attempt to kind of dilute the Biosecure Act. So we have been seeing series of dilutions. In the first step, the Biosecure Act was expected to imminently get the entire China business to India. Then there was a time period. There was a time period that was levied. So between for the next 8 years, you can push the business from China to alternative destinations, not India, but any alternative destination. Now there are arguments that the Biosecure Act uh, has to be refined in terms of the rationale, which companies will figure in that list where US companies can't indulge in business, and when companies would step out of the list. So all of those process will need to be defined. I think we it's likely to get pushed out a lot, maybe a year or so, and even higher, because all of these refinements will lead to arguments, and then we don't know how in what format the Biosecure Act comes through.
So what does that mean for Indian companies, let's say Piramal or a DBs, which essentially got re-rated with the assumption that the Biosecure Act would be in place? I mean, these stocks went up 15-20% with the assumption that the Biosecure Act would be implemented in its original form.
Right. So I think the multiples, I would say, are a bit extended, and it may not. So they partially built in the upside that was expected to come from the Biosecure Act. So I think that with this uncertainty, we should expect the multiples to contract a bit from where they have been. I'm not sure actually whether or not I would still not say the Biosecure Act may come through, but there is uncertainty for sure here. But one phenomena that the CDMO companies are witnessing is companies themselves are want to the US companies and the European innovator companies themselves want to diversify out of China. If not take the entire business out of China, but they want to diversify. So that's certainly helping the CDMO companies, and we are witnessing traction on account of that.
Okay, morning. I just wanted to understand your take on diagnostic companies, because over the past few quarters, there haven't been too many price hikes that have been taken. Do you think that volume growth or organic growth is now going to be the way to grow?
We are also witnessing acquisitions. Companies are looking to acquire. So Metropolis have acquired Core, and so I think this sector broadly is witnessing pricing pressure, and it has been so for the last few years. Uh, and I don't think this is going to improve. The pricing challenge would remain. Volumes is the only way to grow. And these companies, but we are seeing intense competition. The competition is getting more intensified here. So I think it can still grow, say high single digit, low double digit, but we shouldn't expect any higher number here on the diagnostic growth front.
Okay, point taken. That's the view coming in as far as the diagnostic sector is concerned. But I just wanted to come back to those CDMO companies. And you're saying, of course, there's that uncertainty regarding the Biosecure Act. But if we strip that away and we don't account for the biosecure opportunity at all, which companies do you think still stand to benefit? Because, for instance, Piramal, I understand, have a lot of facility back in US as well. Could you name a few other companies that you think are still likely to tap into the CDMO opportunity, Biosecure Act or not?
Uh, so uh, I think uh, keeping valuations aside, if I look at companies that are poised well in the space, so obviously DVs is one of the best companies to look at. Syngene is another company which has presence across the segments of the value chain. They are into discovery, they are into small scale manufacturing and large scale manufacturing. They are into small molecules, they are into biologics. So that is one company that's poised to get the most from the growth in the CDMO space. Companies like Suven are acquiring capabilities and basically aligning their capabilities in line where the innovation is moving. So Indian companies are kind of are doing everything that would take to kind of build this business further from here. Even Piramal, as you said, is well positioned because of facilities in the US. We can also witness this trend. The US government pushing innovators to outsource more to facilities in the US versus outsourcing to facilities in India or other geographies of the world. So if that would happen, probably Piramal would be the one that is better poised. But for sure, with innovator pipeline expanding, we'll see the CDMO opportunity also growing. Particularly, I think the larger opportunity would come. So GLP-1 is one area where Indian companies are waiting for contract manufacturing opportunities. So I think Divi's, Suven, Piramal, and Newland also is one more name that I would like to add to the list that is expected to do well in this space.
Began your answer by saying valuations aside. So if you put valuation also into the metrics, what then becomes the pecking order within stocks?
Since I don't have a coverage on these names, I would want to refrain from commenting on that.
Fair point taken. But thanks, Vishal, for making time and speaking with us and at least helping us analyze what exactly do we make of this entire Biosecure Act and the CDMO opportunity that lies ahead. Quickly.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.